Okay, we'll be here for the first few cycles of breath. So just begin to deepen that breath, breathing in through the nose. And then out through the mouth a few times. Bringing that attention, that awareness to your breath. Our friend throughout practice. So we might notice that we've arrived maybe slightly out of breath or short of breath. Correspond with our mind, maybe we're feeling a bit full in the head, busy in the head. We just want to let go here a bit. Slowing down that breath, slowing down the mind, softening the body. And start to breathe in and out through the nose. Sending that breath all the way to the base of the belly. Following the breath as it exits the body. Maybe holding for a moment or two at the bottom of that exhale. Before breathing deeply again in through the nose. Before we bring any movement to this practice, consciously feeling weighted on your mat, heavy in your limbs. Feel supported by the earth beneath you. And just letting go of any tension that you're holding on to. Taking a big breath in. As you exhale this time, draw your right knee up towards your chest and interlace the fingers around your shin, or just lower than your right knee. We'll pause here for a few breaths, taking a roll through the right ankle, just taking those toes one way and then the other. And then take a breath in here, just release the grip on that knee or shin slightly. As you exhale, squeeze it down towards your right armpit. And breathe here, feeling your belly expand against your inner right thigh. Keeping your left hip on the mat, maybe point the left toes, bringing a bit of activation to that left leg. Take another inhale. As you exhale, release that right knee. Extend the leg and draw the left knee in towards your chest. So opposite side here again, we'll just pause for a few breaths. Roll the ankle one way. And then the other. Good. And then release the grip slightly as you inhale. Breathe deeply into the belly. As you exhale, squeeze that knee down towards your left armpit. Feeling that belly expand on the inhale against that left inner thigh. Maybe squeezing it a little bit more as you exhale. And then release the grip on the knee. As you inhale, draw both knees up to center. Knees over your hips. Flex the toes. Take a breath here. And as you inhale, draw that belly down to the mat. Trying to keep your spine long, so really taking that arch out of the lower spine. Hands are going to come to rest along the mat, palms facing down. And then you can stay here. If you're feeling activation in your core, you can just pause here, drawing that belly down. Otherwise, as you next exhale, press the heels up towards the sky. And extend through the backs of the legs. Bend the knees times, just moving with your breath. Shoulders, hips flexed, lower back squeezing down to the mat. One more, inhale. As you exhale, press those feet towards the sky. And again, you can stay with those bent knees here if you wish. We're going to take the arms up, so hands are raising up above the shoulders. Keep drawing that belly down. Take an inhale. As you exhale, peel the shoulders off the mat and reach the fingers towards the ceiling. And just squeeze here. We're going to pause for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Lower the shoulders down, keep those arms raised. Take an inhale. As you exhale, rise up, drawing that belly down. Keep those arms reaching up straight above the shoulders rather than towards the toes. And release as you exhale. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale here. Exhale, squeeze. Reach those fingers up straight above you towards the ceiling. Keep peeling or drawing that belly down. Release as you exhale. Take 1 more breath. Exhale, heel up. Squeeze the belly down. And then release on your next exhale. Draw the knees towards the chest. Give them a little rock and roll side to side on the hips. Lower back. And then start to rock and roll up and down the mats. Along the spine, we're going to come over onto the knees into our tabletop position. Hands underneath the shoulders. Press through the tops of the feet onto the mat. Few rounds of cat and cow. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone. As you exhale, press through the hands, tops of feet, chin to chest. Moving with your breath. Inhale, roll forward. As you exhale, press into the hands, round through the spine, chin to chest. A few rounds on your own, just moving at your pace. Maybe you take some extra movements here, circling through the shoulders, through the hips. You can always send those hips back to the heels and draw yourself up again. Just do whatever feels good in your body. Staying with those nice deep breaths in and out. Come back to center as you inhale. Find your neutral tabletop. Take an exhale here. Extend your right leg behind you. Tuck the toes. Keep that belly engaged. As you exhale, step your left foot behind you, finding your high plank here. So keep that press through the hands. Really press that space between the shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. Heels press back as the crown of the head draws forward. Nice long spine, take an inhale. As you exhale, lift the hips, send them up and back, downward facing dog. Pedaling out this downward facing dog for your first pose, first round of this pose. Dropping one knee into the center, then the other. Just feeling into those legs, opening up through the hips. Okay, finding stillness in your downward facing dog. So your heels may be to the mat. If they are, maybe you start to lift those toes up towards the tops of the ankles. If not, you can take a slight bend in the knees to lower those heels a little bit further towards the mat. Keep pressing firmly through both hands. Round those, or roll, sorry, those triceps underneath the body, and then peel the shoulders back to the hips. Keeping that nice long spine. Gaze should be just in front of the feet rather than to the belly, just so we keep a nice long spine, nice long neck. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, roll back through to your high plank. Take a breath in. As you exhale, we're going to drop the knees, squeeze elbows into the side body, lower chest and chin. Untuck the toes, lower the hips, slide the chest forward, come into cobra. As you exhale, lower the chest down, tuck the toes, press into the hands, and send the hips back to heels, knees wide, child's pose. Reaching those hands forward, extend through the spine, open up through the tops of the shoulders. Soft belly here as you breathe deeply. Take an inhale. As you exhale, draw yourself back to tabletop position, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths in your downward facing dog. Again, check in with those feet and hands. Press firmly through all 10 fingertips, especially that index finger and thumb knuckle. Taking slight bend of the knees if you need, lift the tailbone up towards the sky. Trying to get those sit bones to be the highest point of this pose. Take an inhale. As you exhale, look forward, roll forward, high plank. Take a breath here. As you exhale, lower the knees, chest and chin, squeezing those elbows into your side body. Untuck the toes, lower the hips, slide the chest forward. Inhale. Exhale, lower the chest down, tuck the toes, press into the hands, find child's pose, hips towards your heels, knees wide. Straight the way into your tabletop position. Inhale, tuck the toes, exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Just a breath here, take an inhale and an exhale. One more time, roll forward into your high plank, take a breath. As you exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, down towards the mat. Untuck the toes, slide the chest forward, inhale. As you exhale, lower the chest, tuck the toes, press back into your child's pose, lift the belly as you come up, and then soften it as you lower down hips to heels. Come forward as you inhale, tabletop, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take an inhale. Sigh out, exhale. Maybe shake out the head if you're holding any tension here. Right leg lifts on an inhale, 3-legged dog. As you exhale, look forward, step that right foot in between the hands, top of the mat. Lower the left knee down, untuck the left toes, and press through the top of that foot at the back. So we're squeezing the inner thighs together, lift through the belly, so we've got a really strong foundation. When you're ready, start to sweep those arms up, find your low lunge, arms reach above the head. Spin those pinky fingers forward, drop the shoulders. So finding that spin or turn of the triceps forward. Stay long through the spine, take an inhale. Maybe you sink a little bit deeper in those hips as you exhale. If you wish, take a baby back bend here, opening up through the chest, keep the belly engaged. As you exhale, frame that front foot, plant the hands either side, and then send the hips back, coming into your half splits here, walking the hands back so they're underneath the shoulders. You might even want to walk that left knee back slightly. So we're really squaring those hips, squeezing your right hip back, left hip forward. Lengthen through the spine as you inhale. As you exhale, fold that chest over the right leg. Little waving here with the spine. Inhale, reach the chest up. Exhale, fold. One more time, inhale. Exhale, fold. And then walk yourself back into your low lunge. Hands frame the front foot, tuck the back toes, lift the knee. Walk the hands slightly further forward than that right foot. Pressing into the right foot, we'll come into standing splits for an inhale. Square those hips, point the left toes. As you exhale, step that left foot next to the right. Finding your Uttanasana forward fold. Bring the feet hip width distance. Relax the hands down to the mat. You can take as much of the bend in the knees as you need. Good, and then shaking the head out again. If you're holding any tension here, relax through the shoulders. Maybe you grab opposite elbow for your right dog. Where's the weight in your feet? Can you bring it further forward to the balls of your feet? Maybe pressing those heels a little bit further towards the mat. Finding that length down the back of the body. Take one more breath. And exhale. Step the right foot back, plant the hands, step the right foot back, then the left. Find your high plank, take a breath here. Option knees, chest, chin, or full chaturanga. Squeeze the elbows in. Upward facing dog or cobra. Pause here for a breath. Whether you're in up dog or cobra, lift the chest, press through the tops of the feet, draw that belly in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big inhale and exhale. Left leg lifts on an inhale. Look forward, step forward in between the hands, top of the mat. Lower the right knee down, untuck the toes, press through the top of that foot. Once again, can you squeeze those inner thighs together, lift through the pelvic floor, lift the belly. Find that strong foundation before you sweep the arms up above the head, drawing those fingers, little pinky fingers forward, so rolling the triceps forward. Keeping those shoulders drop down, take an inhale. Maybe you can go a little bit deeper as you exhale. Inhale, maybe you take the back bend here, drawing that belly in. As you exhale, plant the hands down, frame the front foot, send the hips back towards that right heel, flex the left toes up. Walking those hands back underneath the shoulders, squeeze left hip back, right hip forward. Lengthen the spine as you inhale. As you exhale, fold over that left leg. 2 more. Inhale like a wave, roll up. Exhale, fold forward. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, fold. And then bend that left knee. Bring the hands back either side of the foot. Lift the back knee up. And then look forward, walk the hands slightly further forward from that left foot. Press into the foot as you lift the right leg up, standing splits. Just for a breath here, square the hips, point the right toes, take an inhale. As you exhale, plant the right foot next to the left. Uttanasana, forward fold, feet hip width distance apart. Again, you can take opposite elbow, ragdoll, or maybe this time you want to take it deeper. You could interlace the hands behind the back, open through the shoulders. You can grab your big toes with your peace fingers. Whichever option suits you, you can just stay with hands to the shins or the floor. Taking a deep breath here, inhale. And release if you've got the grip behind your back as you exhale. Plant the hands, step the left foot back and then the right. Find your high plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or full chaturanga. You decide. We're going to pause again in the upward facing dog or cobra. Press through the tops of the feet. Lift the belly, open the chest, inhale. Exhale, lift the belly even more as you roll those hips up and back, downward facing dog. Looking forward, start to walk those feet all the way to the top of the mat. Finding Uttanasana, forward fold. This time big toes touch, slight gap between the heels. Stay here for the inhale. And the exhale. Bend the knees, bring weight into the heels, squeeze knees and thighs together, rise up, Utkatasana, arms in line with those ears, or biceps in line with those ears. Lift the belly, stay for the exhale, sink a little bit deeper into those heels. Can you see your toes in front of your knees? Take an inhale here, hands to heart center, stand tall, Samasthiti. Exhale, close the eyes. And just take a few breaths here, check in with your body, your breath. Maybe you'd like to set an intention for the rest of your practice. Hands beside the body. Inhale, sweep those hands towards the sky. As you exhale, lift the belly, fold with a flat back, Uttanasana. Halfway lift as you inhale. As you exhale, option step or jump back through a vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Exhale. Right leg lifts on an inhale. As you exhale, look forward, step forward, top of the mat. Lower the left knee down, untuck the back toes, rise up to your low lunge as you inhale. Exhale, sink deeper into those hips. Optional little back bend here as you inhale, lean back. Exhale, hands frame the front foot. This time, tuck the back toes, lift the left knee, and as you exhale, send your hips up high, straighten through both legs, nose to right knee. We'll pause here for a few breaths if you want to lift your right toes up. For a deeper stretch here, sending those hips a little higher. Go for it. Keep squaring those hips though. Peel that right hip back. Left hip forward. One more breath. As you exhale, bend that right knee. Walk the hands a little further forward, coming back to standing splits. Plant through that right foot. Lift the left leg. Inhale. Squaring the hips, pointing the left toes. As you exhale, maybe you can fold a bit further, nose to knee. Take another inhale here. This time as you exhale, we're going to swing that left knee underneath the body and up towards the chest. See if you can do it without tapping down. Left knee squeezes in towards your chest. Good. Spread the weight on that right foot. Nice and tall here. Take an inhale. As you exhale, hands to heart center, send that left leg back into our warrior three. Left leg extends behind you. Square the hips, lift the chest, lift the belly. Good, find that focus. Maybe drop that left hip ever so slightly. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slowly, lightly step that left foot back behind you and come into your high lunge this time. Squeezing those triceps forward again, pinky fingers forward. Slight bend in that left knee, tuck the pelvis under, shoulders over the hips once you've got that alignment. Then extend that back leg. Press the heel back, draw the right knee forward, take an inhale. As you exhale, plant the hands down, frame the front foot, step back, move through a chaturanga. You can always skip. Come back to downward facing dog when you're ready. Take one breath here. Exhale. Left leg, inhale, sweep it high. As you exhale, look forward, step forward, top of the mat. Lower the right knee down, untuck the back toes, sweep those arms up, low lunge, inhale. As you exhale, sink through the hips a little bit deeper here. Maybe go for the back bend, inhale. As you exhale, frame the front foot. This time, tuck the back toes, lift the right knee. As you exhale, send the hips up and back, nose to knee. Or pause for a few breaths. Again, you can lift those left toes if you wish, come onto the heel, squeezing left hip back, right hip forward. One more inhale. As you exhale, lower the left toes down, bend the knee, and then walk the hands forward, coming to standing splits. Inhale, press through the left foot, right leg lifts behind you, point the toes, square the hips. We're here for another breath, so inhale. As you exhale, fold a bit deeper, nose to knee. Remember, trying to come into this next pose without tapping down. You can if you need to though. Bend the left knee slightly as you draw the right knee up towards your chest. Clasp that knee up, just like we did at the beginning. Good, flex the right toes. Spread the left foot evenly on the mat. Find balance here, take an inhale. As you exhale, release the knee, hands to your heart. We're going to send that right leg back, warrior three. Lift the belly, lift the chest. Kick the right heel back as you draw the crown of the head forward. Take another inhale. As you exhale, slowly, lightly, step that right foot to the back of your mat. Reach the arms towards the ceiling, find your high lunge. Good, so spinning those pinky fingers forward, drop the shoulders down. Slight bend in that back knee to tuck the pelvis under the shoulders. Once you've got that alignment, send the right heel back, keeping the hips where they are. Take an inhale. As you exhale, frame the front foot, step back, move through your flow. Downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. We're going to add on to this flow. When you're ready, exhale, downward facing dog. And then inhale your right leg up towards the sky. As you exhale, look forward, step forward in between the hands. Lower the left knee down and tuck the toes, rise up to your low lunge. As you exhale, sink through the hips. Inhale, lean back if it's there for you. Exhale, hands to the mat. Tuck the back toes, lift the left knee, send the hips up and back, nose to knee. Just for an exhale here, bend the right knee, walk the hands forward, standing splits, inhale. As you exhale, maybe fold a bit deeper. Inhale all the way up, left knee towards the chest. See if you can do it balancing on the way up. Squeeze that knee in. Here's a little change. Bring your right hand to your right hip. You can stay here in this pose, just balancing on that right leg, spreading the weight evenly. If you want to grab your peace fingers around left toe, go for it here, you can stay. Or maybe you extend that left leg forward, squeezing that belly in, lengthening through the spine and drawing up your left shoulder back into its socket. Good, standing tall here. We're squeezing the right toes on the mat. Maybe we can spread them a little bit more, finding stability. Take an inhale. Challenge for those with the leg extended. Keep that foot extended as you bring your hands to your heart center. And then wherever you are, we're coming into warrior three. So send that left leg back behind you. Lift the belly, lift the chest. Option here to extend your arms out in front of you for full expression of warrior three, or maybe just stay with hands to heart center. Good, take one more breath. As you exhale lightly, slowly step that left foot to the back of the mat, rise up into your high lunge. Keep those hips nice and square to the front of the room. One breath here. As you exhale, frame the front foot. Step back to your high plank and exhale, move through your vinyasa. Straight away left side, inhale. Exhale, look forward, step forward. Drop the back knee and tuck the toes, reach up, low lunge. Exhale, sink the hips. Maybe lean back if it's there for you. Inhale, exhale, frame the front foot. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, nose to knee. Inhale, bend the knee, walk the hands forward, standing splits as you exhale. Point the toes. Again, lengthen on the inhale. As you exhale, nose to knee, even more here. And then we're coming into our right knee to chest pose. So bringing that knee through. Balancing on the left foot. Good. Spreading the weight on that left foot here, so spread the toes. Option to stay, left hand onto your left hip. Draw that belly in, stay tall through the spine. Or grab these fingers around your right big toe. Maybe you extend that heel forward. If you extend the leg forward and you round through the spine, just bend the knee. Send the spine tall again. We don't want to compromise the straight spine in this pose for a straight leg. Keeping strong through the core, take an inhale. If your leg's extended, exhale, hands to your heart center for a little challenge. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, no matter where you are, we're coming into our warrior three. Hands to heart, send the right leg behind you. Balancing on that left leg. Lovely. Can we send that right hip down slightly so we're square through those hips? Really press that heel back as you draw the crown of the head forward. Option to extend those arms out in front of you. Biceps in line with the ears. Take a breath here. Lovely. As you exhale lightly, slowly step that foot back. Rise into your high lunge. As you exhale, plant the hands down, frame the front foot, move through your flow. Upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here or drop to your knees, find child's pose if you need a quick break. Well done. We're going to flow that just a few times each side. One breath, one movement. As we come into those standing balances, don't worry if you're a bit wobbly. You're only holding it for one breath. Main thing is to have some. Okay, taking another breath here. Connecting with that breath as you exhale, send the hands to the mat, lift the hips up high, downward facing dog. So in your downward facing dog, just a reminder with those hands or arms, just like you did in your high lunge or your low lunge, spinning those pinky fingers forward, rolling triceps under. Same motion here, you'll feel the weight transfer to the outer edges of your hands. Just might open those shoulders a little bit more. Able to send that chest back towards the thighs, take an inhale. As you exhale, sink the heels a little lower to the mat. Right side, inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it through. Drop the back knee, rise up, inhale. As you exhale, sink the hips. Maybe go for the back bend as you inhale. Exhale, frame the front foot, tuck the toes, lift the back knee, nose to knee. Then the right knee, walk the hands forward, standing splits as you inhale. As you exhale, transfer left knee towards the chest, balance as you come all the way up. Squeeze that knee in. Option to stay here or toes to your peace fingers to your toe. And then extend that left leg forward, take a breath. Release the grip if you have it, hands to your heart, lift that left leg. Squeeze the thigh as you exhale, warrior three. One breath here. Exhale, send the left foot down, rise up to your high lunge, take a breath. Exhale, hands down, frame the front foot, chaturanga, or meet in downward facing dog. Left leg, inhale. Exhale. Step it through, drop the knee. Rise up, inhale, low lunge. Exhale, stay. Maybe you sink those hips and reach back, lean back. Exhale, frame the front foot, tuck the back toes, lift the knee, hips up high, nose to knee. Bend the knee, walk the hands forward, standing splits, inhale. As you exhale, transfer the weight to the left foot, right knee up towards your chest. Option to stay or grab the big toe. Extend the right leg forward, inhale. Exhale, release, hands to heart. Squeeze the right thigh, inhale. Exhale, sweep that right leg back. One breath here. Exhale, slowly lower that right foot down, reach up, high lunge. Exhale, frame the front foot, step back, move through your flow. Exhale. One more time each side. Inhale your right leg up. Breathe here. As you exhale, step it through. Drop the back knee, rise up, low lunge. As you exhale, sink the hips a little deeper. Lean back if it's there for you. Inhale. As you exhale, frame the front foot with those hands. Lift the back knee. Nose to knee. Straighten the legs. Standing splits. Walk the hands forward. Inhale. As you exhale, draw left knee up towards your chest. Use your core to find balance on the way up. Spread the toes on the standing leg. Option to take the balance. Extend that leg in front of you. Lovely. Take an inhale. Optional. Hands to heart. Lift that leg a little higher. Good. And then when you're ready, inhale. Kick back into your warrior three. Lift the belly. Lift the chest. Exhale, slowly step that foot to the back of your mat, square the hips, rise up, stay strong through the core. Exhale, frame the front foot, step back, move through your flow. Nice, big deep breath out as you Come into your downward facing dog, left leg, inhale. Step through, exhale, drop the back knee. Rise up, inhale. Exhale, frame the hips. Maybe lean back as you inhale. Exhale, frame the front foot. Send the hips up and back, nose to knee. Look forward, walk the hands forward. Inhale, standing splits. As you exhale, come forward into your right knee towards chest pose, stump pose. Option to stay here or grab your big toe. Extend that right leg forward, inhale. Exhale, hands to your chest, keep that leg lifted. As you inhale, sweep it back. Lift the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, slowly step that right foot back, reach up, high lunge. Exhale, frame the front foot, step back, move through your flow. Upward facing dog or cobra, downward facing dog. Take a big breath here. As you exhale, lower the heels even more to the mat. Sink the chest towards the thighs. Release out through that head, the neck. Look forward, lift the right leg up, inhale. As you exhale, step the right foot in between the hands and then spin the feet so they're facing the long edge of the mat. Good, so we're in our fold here. So there's a few options, just like in your other forward fold, you can stay with hands on the mat, walking the heels of the hands back in line with the heels of the feet. If you want to take the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, squeeze the palms together and open through the shoulders, you could do that. Or you might take the outside edges of your ankles or big toes and open the elbows out wide as you fold deeper here. Relax the crown of the head down towards the mat. Good, stay strong through the core, lift the belly. Can you send those hips a little bit further forward so they're in line with the heels? Take 2 more breaths here. Last inhale. If you've got the grip behind the back, as you exhale, bring the hands down in front of the gaze. And then walk your hands back so they're framing that front foot. Right leg is framed here. Good, we're going to step back to your high plank. Press through the hands, lift the belly. Press that middle part of your back, or between your shoulder blades, up towards the sky. Bringing the weight into that right hand, roll over onto the right side. So knife edge of that right foot, side plank, Vashisthasana. Lift that left arm up towards the sky. Option is to always bend that right knee and find a more supported side plank. So just check that that left hip doesn't peel back too much. It stays slightly drawing forward on top of that right hip. Good, and then an option here, if you're not there already, bring the sole of that left foot to the thigh on the right side. Or maybe you float that leg up towards the sky. Squeeze the right side body, stay for the inhale. Lower that foot back down in line with the right foot if it's not already. Exhale, find your high plank. Little release to the core here, drop the hips, shine the heart forward. Upward facing dog with toes tucked. Lift the belly, inhale. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big breath here. Inhale that left leg up towards the sky. As you exhale, step that foot in between the hands, top of the mat. And then spin once again to the long edge of your mat. You can bring hands underneath the gaze, hands behind you, hands either side of those ankles. For our second forward fold, if you want to go for understand is in your practice, you can go to it from here. Make sure you've got a nice strong foundation. Drawing elbows a little closer together, good. Strong core, lifting those sit bones up towards the sky. Nice and long through the backs of the legs. Soft through the shoulders, soft through the neck, if you're in your fold. If you're in your inversion, making your way down now, we'll take another inhale. Releasing the hands if they're behind your back on the exhale. Walk your hands back to the top of your mat once again, framing that left foot. Good, plant the hands and step back into your high plank. We'll hold here for a few breaths. Lifting the belly, sending the heels back, crown of the head drawing forward. When you're ready, weight into that left hand, roll over onto the knife edge of the left foot. Peel that right arm up towards the sky. Always an option to drop the bottom knee. And just check that that right hip hasn't dropped too far back. It comes forward slightly in line with that left hip. And then once again, option to bring sole of that right foot to the inside edge of the left thigh. Or maybe you extend that right leg high towards the ceiling, flexing the foot. Take an inhale. Lower that right leg down if it's lifted and come back to your high plank. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, lower the hips. Shine the heart forward. Come into your upward facing dog, toes tucked. Keep that belly lifted, inhale. As you exhale, roll the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Lift those heels, look forward. Coming into a seated position, bend the knees, step or jump through. Into Dandasana, extend the legs out in front of you. And then just peel or untuck the meaty part of your bum from underneath you. So we're on the sit bones, sitting nice and tall, drawing that belly in, spine long. Reach the arms up again, biceps in line with the ears. Spin the pinky fingers forward. Flex the toes, and then the heels may even lift off the mat here as we engage through the legs. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, keeping that straight spine, reach the arms forward. And then maybe they can grab outer edges of the feet, maybe peace fingers around your big toes, or hands just resting gently next to the body. We're going to hold this for about 5 breaths. So with every inhale, see if you can lengthen through the spine, sending that chest towards your toes. Keeping that belly lifted to provide space for you to fold. As you exhale, folding that a bit deeper. One more breath here. As you inhale, peel yourself back up to seated. We're going to cross the ankles left on top of right. Press the hands down to the mat. Step or jump back through a vinyasa, or just come straight to downward facing dog. Lift the heels, look forward once again to our Dandasana. Bend the knees, step or jump through to a seated position. Extend the legs out long in front of you and tuck the meaty part of your bum. Sit tall here, lifting up through the pelvic floor. Reach the arms up high, spin the biceps forward, or back, sorry, triceps forward. And then we'll stay for the inhale. As you exhale, once again, fold forward. Lengthen on the inhale. As you exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Nose towards your knees. Just here for another inhale. As you exhale, fold. This time as you come up, draw your right knee back with it. So the sole of the foot comes towards the floor. And then send that right knee out wide, sole of the foot to the inside edge of your left thigh. So a few options here. You can stay with your regular Janu Sirsasana. If you want to take the edge of that right foot up to the crease of your left hip, if you've got the space, you can come into your half lotus pose. So if you've got that hook of the foot, you might take your right arm behind you and grab onto the right big toe or edge of the foot there. If you're in your regular Janu Sirsasana, maybe you just take that right hand behind your lower back. We're going to take the left arm up towards the sky, take an inhale. As you exhale, reach that left arm forward to the inside edge of the left leg. And you can drop the elbow down onto the mat. Draw your right shoulder back, so we're really opening through that chest. We're getting a little twist here in the spine with the bind behind the back. Keep flexing through that left foot. Active in that leg that's long on the mat. Take an inhale. Release the bind if you've got it. As you exhale, reach that right arm forward too, and then fold your body over the left leg. And just notice the change there as you fold your right shoulder down, nose towards the knee. Bit of a release for the spine. Take an inhale and an exhale. Walk the hands back up to center, and then we'll do the same on the other side. So extend the right leg long, draw the left knee up towards your chest, and then open that left knee out. Sole of the foot to the inside edge of your right thigh. Sitting tall here. Option, you can either stay there or bring the edge of that foot to the hip crease. And then you can take the bind behind the back, maybe grabbing a hold of that left foot, or just opening through the chest, hand resting behind the lower back. Reach that right arm up towards the sky. Take an inhale. As you exhale, fold forward. Take the right elbow or arm down towards the mat, inside edge of that leg. Keep peeling that left shoulder back behind you, maybe using that right elbow to hook on the inside of that leg to really open up through the chest. Keep flexing that right foot here, active in the extended leg. Take an inhale. As you exhale, release, extend the left arm, right arm either side of that right leg. Maybe lengthen on the inhale and then fold on the exhale. Should be a nice release for the lower back. Releasing from that twist in the upper back. Take another breath here. And then as you inhale, start to walk those hands back to your body. Extend that left leg. And then we'll cross this time, right leg over the left. Bring the heels back, step back, jump back, move through a chaturanga of your choice. And we will meet in downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. Sigh out. Drop the knees to the mat. Find your child's pose. Big toes to touch. Hips back towards your heels. Reaching those arms forward. And then lower the chest, the forehead down to the mat. Starting to slow down the breath in the body now. Softening through the belly, take an inhale. As you exhale, draw yourself up to a tabletop position. We're going to sit back onto the heels and come into our camel pose from here. So rise up onto the knees. An option here is to have your toes tucked behind you. So if you need a little bit more space or more help in your lift here. That makes sense. I don't know what happened there. So lifting your heels if you need. We're going to bring the hands to the lower back. So fingers drawing down towards the bum, as though you're going to put your hands in back pockets. Squeeze the elbows together, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then tuck the pelvis forward as you draw up through the belly, up through the pelvic floor, and then lift the chest forward. Stay here if you wish. This could be enough of a back bend, or if you want to go further, press those hips forward as you start to lean back. But don't lose that length in the spine, that lift in the chest. We want to keep squeezing hips forward, drawing inner thighs together. If it's there for you, maybe reaching your hands back down towards your heels, one hand at a time. Again, keeping that press of the hips forward, squeeze the inner thighs together. If it's there for you, drop the head all the way back. We're here for a couple more breaths. Imagine somebody is squeezing or pulling your hips closer towards the front of the room. Take an inhale. As you exhale, squeeze the inner thighs together. Use the core, support your lower back, and come all the way up. Good. Release the toes if they're tucked. Sit the hips back down onto the heels, and then come into your embryo pose. Fold forehead down to the mat. Reach the arms along next to the body. Release through that lower spine. Taking another breath here in your embryo pose, and you can stay here, or if you have a headstand in your practice and you wish to go into it now, then you can take a headstand from here. Another option, if you don't want to stay in your embryo pose, is to grab a hold of your heels with your hands, and then as you roll the hips up towards the sky, come onto the crown of the head. But keeping a hold of the heels, you'll get a nice opening or a stretch through the tops of the shoulders, through the spine, a nice lengthening through the spine. But really take a firm grip of those heels so that we're not dumping all the weight down onto the head. We want that pull back from the feet and the arms. Arms nice and straight here. Take one more breath. And then slowly release back to your embryo pose. If you're in an inversion, you can start to make your way down. And then peeling yourself up to kneeling position. Just going to send the hips over to the right side and swing the legs out in front of you. Scoot your bum forward, make sure that you've got space behind you. As you roll back onto your spine, draw the knees up towards the chest. Just as we did at the beginning of class, maybe rocking side to side here, and just releasing again through the lower back. Extending the left leg, keeping a hold of the right knee. Back to our Upasana pose. We'll take the left hand onto the right knee and draw it across the body for our supine twist. Right arm can take a T shape or long on the mat. Shoulders draw down. Gaze can be up to the ceiling or over to that right arm. And then a few options here. You might like to extend your right leg, taking a hold of the outer edge of the foot for more of an IT band stretch. You might like to bend the left knee and grab a hold of the top of that left foot, or cat chasing the tail pose. If you want a bit of a quad stretch on the left side. We're going to hold here for about 5 breaths. Soften through the body, the shoulders, the hips. Take one more breath here. And whichever pose you took, slowly release from that pose and come back to center. Both knees up towards the chest, just give them a little squeeze in. And then keep a hold of the left leg as you extend the right leg, or left knee, sorry, as you extend the right leg long. Take your right hand onto the left knee, and then take it across the body again into your supine twist. Lots of options here. Maybe T-shape or long with that left arm. You can take the left leg long. You could bend the right knee and grab the top of that right foot for a quad stretch on the other side. Just go with what feels good for your body. About 5 breaths here. Okay, releasing from this pose when you're ready. Coming back to knees up towards the chest, give yourself a final hug. And then slowly releasing your legs long on the mat. We're going to find Shavasana again, as we did at the beginning of class. If you want to have your knees bent, feet on the mat, please do. Or if there's any other Shavasana you would like to take, maybe feet together, knees out wide. Softening the body, letting the breath be natural. Letting go of any last bits of tension, tightness, any thoughts that are swimming around in that head. Let them go for these last couple of minutes. And just focus on that breath in, that breath out. Being here on your mat. Big breath in, fill up the belly. And then sigh it out through the mouth. Starting to bring some movement back to those fingers and toes, the ankles, the wrists. And doing whatever you need to do before you come up to a comfortable seat. So you can take a few moments to stretch out, maybe knees to chest again. And then in a few breaths, you'll make your way up to that seat at the top of your mat, keeping the eyes closed or the gaze soft. And then bringing hands to Anjali Mudra at heart center. And take a moment of gratitude here, thanking yourself for your practice this evening, but also to those around you in the studio and online for sharing their energies with you. And thank you for letting me guide you. Have a wonderful weekend. Namaste. Namaste. Well done, everybody.